Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Steph and I want to welcome you to my channel. If you love all things fashion, scary story times, K-pop, luxury hauls, and vlogs, and much more, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for all upcoming videos. What is up you guys? Today we are back with a new scary story. This one is talking about this house that I actually live in right now, which all of my friends and I refer to as my haunted house because it is haunted. It's a house that I've lived in for over 20 plus years, and since the day I moved in, I've always known this house was creepy. I had a lot of things happen to me here, a lot that I've forgotten over the years, and I've talked about this before, but this house always felt creepy up until the day my dad passed away. When he passed away, I remember I had a dream with him where he told me that he would always take care of our house. And honestly, I've experienced things that are very minor, but in comparison to how creepy my house used to be back then, I don't lose sleep over it. I kind of forget. I haven't really experienced anything major or crazy, but for the longest time, and to be honest with you, when you experience something over and over again, that becomes your new normal. That is your new normal. And so when my friends would see things that would psych them out, which one of the stories I'm going to tell you about has to do with one of my best friends, when it would psych her out, I would be like, yeah, that's normal. That's nothing. Please, like, I've seen worse, because that was my new normal. That was how I was used to living. But this house for years was extremely, extremely haunted. I think it still is, but it's more minor. We did have a priest come and bless the house. We had a little bit of everything because this house had gotten way insane at one point, and we did have a priest come bless it back in 2018. No, back in 2019, we did have a priest come and bless the house. But these are two stories that I really do remember, because a lot of them, they'll come, and when they come, I will share them with you guys. But these are the two that I just remembered not that long ago. Again, when I was laying in bed with my husband, we were telling each other scary stories because we were watching scary stories, and then I remembered this story as well. We had this one cousin that he would work all week and then he would spend weekends with us. And so I do want to say the dynamic of my family is most of our family is either in Honduras or New York. My mom and I, another cousin, and this one cousin that I'm telling you about that we would spend the weekends with, we were the only ones here in Miami. So because at the time, well, no, he was already here. Because we were the only four here in Miami, we were relatively close. And with this one cousin in particular, he used to work all week and then spend all the weekends with us from Friday to Sunday night. We would just kick it together. And a lot of the times what he would do is he would buy things from garage sales and bring them as gifts to us. One thing I've always made this really clear is my favorite animal in the world is a horse. Because when I went to spend one summer with my mom's side of the family, it was my first summer ever meeting them. My first summer ever meeting my mom's side of the family. I spent a whole summer in Honduras. And during that summer, my grandpa still owned horses. So he owned a farm and he owned horses. And we used to ride horses everywhere we went. And they became my favorite animal ever. And it's just tied to so many wonderful memories that are instilled in me till this day. But horses were my favorite animals in the world. I always used to tell people this. My cousin knew this, and he went to a garage sale and he bought this. It was beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. It was a wooden horse. It was like standing, dark wood with black horse. He bought that for us. When my cousin brings it that weekend, I had the most awful feeling about that horse. I did not feel good about it. I remember telling my dad, like, my dad used to be like, look how beautiful this is, wood. It's so special. And I used to be like, no, I hate that. Please take that away from me. I hate that. So they put it on a table in the living room, but it was kind of hidden. Like, it wasn't smack dab in the center. And I always felt uneasy about this horse. I have told you guys that I have struggled a lot with sleeping alone in my room. And yes, this was around the time that I saw El Duende. It must have been like maybe at most anywhere between 6 months to a year after I saw El Duende. But I was back to sleeping in my room alone. And this one night it was raining really, really, really bad. And I've always slept with my TV on, but I remember this one night, it was raining, I'm knocked out, boom, thunder. Like, it was the loudest thunder ever. It made my room shake. Boom, I hear it. I get up quick. I am so scared at this point, okay? Oh man, I'm like getting the chills. I sit up, I look around. That thunder had like knocked our power out. I am scared because now it's taken off my TV, so now the whole house is dark. I mean, it was 3 a.m. at the time, but the whole house is dark. I get up, I open my room door. So my house is pretty straight. I open my room door, and if you were to come out of my room and look out, if you look to the right, you're gonna see our front door. If you look to the left, you will have access to view our back door, which leads you to the backyard. And our back door at the time, now they are covered doors, but at the time they were sliding doors. We didn't have any blinds, we didn't have any curtains. So you could always see what was going on in the backyard. What I will say is our backyard does have a really high fence, and it is a private street in the back, so no one's ever really hanging around there. It is closed off to the public, and we have a really high gate or fence situation. Not even, it's a wall, it's a cement wall. So I was never scared of someone being able to look in, mostly scared of just what lingered around. I come out of my room, I look to the front, and the front door is the damn horse has now moved. So that horse was lingering in a corner. It is now at our front door. Like, it was so creepy because it looked like I had almost caught it when I shouldn't have, and it just stopped there. Oh my God, I'm getting the chills. It was just there standing, and I screamed. I looked to the back, and in the back, I could see another lightning, like it does all the lights. I'm getting the chills. I'm freaking out. Bro. Okay, in my backyard, we had a rocking chair. Said rocking chair was in a corner as well, one where you couldn't see it. On this night, the two things that I'm most afraid of, which is the rocking chair and that horse. The horse is literally by the door, by itself. It's by the door. I look back, lightning hits. It is straight out of a freaking movie. The chair is now in the center of the backyard, rocking by itself. Girl, I don't know. I do not know how I got the courage to run in the middle of all these things happening to my parents' room, crying. I am crying. I tell them what I see. My dad's like, go to sleep. It was nothing. Okay. Again, they try to make me forget. The thing is, I feel things so, I don't know, man. When I would get scared, and my parents were also struggling with the fact that I would get so scared to sleep alone that I would always crash their bedroom. So I think for my parents, it was better to say like, oh, no, you made that up in your head so I could still sleep in my bedroom, because if not, God forbid, like I will already spend so many months sleeping with them. And I had just went back to my room, like, oh my God. And so I see the chair is rocking. No one will ever erase that image from my mind. The next day, I tell my dad, he says, you've made it up. The horse, I moved it. He's like, I moved it before you went to bed because I knew you were scared I was playing a prank on you. Really? Really, Dad? I tell my best friend, I tell her like, hey, there's this chair, like this happened and blah, blah, blah. The rocking chair was in the middle of the backyard. So much so that when the lightning hit, it only brightened the chair, and the chair is rocking. I tell my best friend, and my best friend's like, no way. I was like, I swear to God. A few nights later, I wake up in the middle of the night. I open my door. The horse is once again moved. It is not, I don't remember where I saw it this time. I think I had forced my dad to hide it in the corner, like by the end of the couch, and the horse was now on the other end of the couch. This one, I don't feel too confident in saying it was haunted. It's a gut feeling. I don't even know how to explain it. I saw that the horse was moved. I tell my dad again about it. He's like, yeah, I did that. I was trying to scare you. I was trying to prove to you that it does move. I don't know if I believe that, because after that happened, the horse never moved again. And eventually I turned 19 and I found my voice, and I was like, yeah, we're throwing this out. And we threw it out, and that was the end of the horse. I did have those 2 experiences with the horses where it moved twice. My dad says he was behind both of them. I truly know that he was not behind the first one, because that really just happened out of nowhere. I had already made peace with the horse living here. It had never happened before. And even the second time it happened, I don't truly believe that my dad did it. However, I cannot confidently say he didn't, but the timing, it was too spread apart from the first time, and it was so random. It happened, I just don't know. But that first time, I am a firm believer that that did just happen. I feel like it was trying to move. I caught it. I saw it by the door. I looked back. I see the rocking chair. It is rocking on its own. It is rocking on its own, okay? I freak out. I tell my best friend the story about the rocking chair and the horse. I think people really didn't take the horse thing too serious because it was so minor, but at the time it scared me to death. And then I invite my friend over one day. I had already told her the rocking chair story. This was maybe a year apart. So this really, like, everything that happened in my house didn't happen like 1 week, next week, next week. I think there was 1 week where we had scary experiences happen to everyone for 7 days straight. It was the weirdest thing ever. It has never, something like that has never happened again. But every experience that happened was with a lot of significant time in between. So a year later, I invite my best friend over. She comes to the house and she says to me, like, I'm not even making this up. This is her text. She comes to my house one day and she did tell me this, and she was like, the rocking chair is moving by itself. And I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, yeah, whatever. That's nothing. I've experienced so much I was like, that's nothing. Don't even pay attention to it. I said, don't even pay attention to it. But she said, she texted me and she says, I remember after that rocking chair y'all had with no human moving it, I believe all the haunted things that happened in your house. I saw it for myself too. I was standing near the front, literally walking into your room, and it was moving. I was like, you know, I could just go home. She'll never know. It was so scary when my friends would experience things, because like it's one thing, but like how do you explain to your friends? And when she experienced that, it was just so creepy because I know I kind of brushed it off. I was like, yeah, that's nothing. It was so scary. There was this one time I was in the room with my best friend and another one of my best friends. I remember we were in silence, like just in our room. We had my dog at the time in pure silence, and I was upset because I was trying to go to Disney with a boyfriend and my mom was not allowing me to. And so I was trying to come up with a plan. My best friend was in the room with me. We were kind of silent because I was trying to think of something, when all of a sudden from outside my window, we could hear someone blowing, like whistling. Am I crazy? Oh my God. See, that's how I know I'm not crazy. I could just hear singing in the backyard. It's her washer and dryer. We were in my room and all of a sudden we could hear someone whistling by our window, like literally by our window. And I told my friend, I was like, don't react. And we stayed quiet. We kept hearing the whistling. And then I silently ran outside to try to catch it off guard. I go outside. Nobody was even there. It psyched my best friend and I out so bad. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, was that you? I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, was that you? Nobody was home. It was just me, my best friend, and my dog. And that was so creepy. There was another time that so one thing I loved back when I was still in high school, I used to love sitting on said rocking chair. I used to love coming to the back, sitting there listening to music, reading books. Behind my house, there's a private street, and behind that, there was a business. It was like a roofing business, and they sold like shingles, which is for the roof. It sold that, and they would make them there. I don't really know too much, but I know it had something to do with roofing. It's weird because that is no longer there anymore, but back then, from what I could see through my window, it was like the workers had this ramp that would go all the way up, and when they were all the way at the top, you could see them from the window. They could see directly into our kitchen. I remember that they would always leave like around 5. They were done. And I didn't like hanging out there while they were there because, it's weird. But after they would leave and they would close the shop, I would go outside and I would read books. And my dad would come usually around 7 p.m. So it gave me a good hour, 2 hours to be outside. So I was sitting out there in the rocking chair. I look back and I can feel like someone is watching me from up that ramp. I keep looking, but it's this weird feeling like I knew someone was watching me. I keep looking, I look, there's no one there. I feel so uneasy that I end up coming back inside. I grab my book, I take my AirPods off, I come inside, not even AirPods. Yeah, it was AirPods. Was it? I don't know. I had my headphones in, I come inside, I take everything off, I stop reading, and again, we have the sliding door, so there is no blinds, no nothing. I come into the kitchen. As I turn to face directly to be directly in the kitchen, facing directly to the backyard. I look up and there is a lady in white standing at the top of that ramp, looking dead at me. I freak out so bad. I go hide in my room. I hide in my room. I come out hours later. And I remember that I had to go to the backyard because I forgot something. I went to the backyard to get it. I look back inside. The lady in white is now standing in my kitchen. I freaked out so bad. She's just staring at me, long black hair, all white. She looked dirty. I called my dad. I'm like, you gotta get here. He came home. I was so scared. I was like, please, please, like from now on, come home at 6, because I knew they were there till 5. And then I was like, I knew that my dad couldn't leave at 5. He had already made that clear. So I was like, please come home at 6. I'm freaking out. I'm so scared. You know, from then on, my dad started coming home at 6, latest 6:30. He would call me at 6 p.m. He would stay on the phone with me. But I was so petrified, so scared. It was the one and only time I'd ever seen that. After that, we ended up, I told you, I got rid of the horse. My mom eventually got rid of the rocking chair. Thank the Lord, because that rocking chair scared me straight beyond. And yeah, like I think I got so used to so many things happening. The things would happen, I would be like, oh yeah, like it had to be something major to kind of get a reaction out of me. But still, at the end of the day, regardless, when you would sit down and think of anything, okay, this is happening and no one's even on the other side of it, it used to psych me out. And yeah, but that really genuinely did happen to me with the rocking chair. And I felt so great when not great, look, it felt weird, right? It felt weird that my friend came and she had an experience with the rocking chair, but it also validated me. It felt weird when I was alone in my room and my best friend and I heard the whistling and we run outside and no one's there, but it felt validating. That woman was like a one-time thing. I saw her that one time up there and in my kitchen. I've never seen her again, and thank the Lord, because I just can't imagine, like, I can't imagine it. But I've never seen that apparition of a woman ever again. Yeah, that is some of the scary stuff that I've experienced in this house over the years. I would love to tell you guys about the 7 days that my family experienced a bunch of stuff. Let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. Please comment below. Do you live in a haunted house? What are some experiences that you've had? Please remember that I do have an email, iamjustspooked@gmail.com, where you can submit some of your stories and be featured on any upcoming video. I hope that you guys enjoyed these scary stories. I'm sorry if I seem like I'm everywhere, but these are really old stories. It's hard for me to remember these stories because they're, one, really old, and two, they're from a time when my dad was alive, and it's really hard for me to dig back and visit that time. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit everywhere, but I would love to share more with you guys. Please let me know what you would like to see next. If you have any stories to share, please share them with me, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.